It is a material of contradictions. It is one of mankind's most permanent products, and yet one of the most fragile. It is a paradox in beauty. For glass can be colored or clear. It is one of the hardest and roughest materials on earth, yet can also be the softest and smoothest. Of all the uses of glass, stained glass is by far the most beautiful. The origin of stained glass is shrouded in mystery. History records its first use in the 4th century. However its use began, the blaze of rich colors from stained glass over the centuries has controlled our emotions, created moods, and educated us with the stories they tell. Stained glass is one of man's most inspirational and extraordinary treasures. The University of Notre Dame, South Bend, Indiana. They have been part of the Notre Dame campus for a full century, highly visible and memorable. Today, the inherent quality, the intrinsic and the artistic value of the stained glass windows in the Church of the Sacred Heart of Jesus are well known. The windows, designed by the Carmelite nuns at the Carmel Dumas Studios in Le Mans, France, depict the gospel and parables of Jesus Christ, as well as the lives of the saints. The work on these art treasures commenced in 1873. From afar, the appearance of the windows is deceptive. Their integrity seems to be sound, but a century's worth of dirt, grime, and moisture has taken its toll. The frames are rotting. The lead cames are cracking, which has caused some of the glass to crack. To save these priceless windows from permanent damage, experts say it's imperative they be restored and preserved soon.
There's a point in time when a window should be restored. If you go too soon, then you're probably going to break glass. If you go too late, then the windows are going to fall apart as you remove them.
The delicate and sensitive task of restoring these windows has been awarded to one of the leading stained glass and decorating studios in the United States, Conrad Schmidt Studios of New Berlin, Wisconsin. Founded in 1889, the studio is owned and operated by the Bernard Grinke family.
What about that main star in the hand of the cherubs? At one time it was...
Without a doubt, they needed restoration. Temporary repair was out of the question because the lead was cracking at the solder joints, panels were bulging, and it was the period in time that the windows should be removed.
This project will be one of the largest restoration projects of its kind in the country. 116 windows and more than 1,200 panels will be restored. The project will take more than 2 years to complete.
To restore is to preserve, and to preserve is to use and retain as much of the original as possible.
The task at hand for Conrad Schmidt Studios is to restore these windows exactly as they were first designed and installed. All of the techniques of the individual craftsmen, their perfections, as well as their errors, must be replicated.
You're so tempted to put in your own character, your own brushstroke, your own color. It hurts the craftsman deeply to do something that they know they can do better, but they're doing it exactly the way the original artist did.
More than 100 years ago, Father Edward Sorin, a priest of the Order of Holy Cross and the founder of Notre Dame, wanted to build a Catholic church in what was then the wilderness of northwest Indiana. As part of his plan, he looked to the French artisans of the time to design and manufacture the church's stained glass windows. Their work was masterful. Letters documenting the construction of the windows reveal some interesting and noteworthy sidebars. Some of the ongoing correspondence between South Bend and Le Mans took weeks, sometimes even months. A few of the letters were lost in a shipwreck in 1875.
Le Mans, May 31st, 1873. Mon révérend frère, my reverend brother, how I thank you of your kindness. The ladies, and by the ladies they refer to the Carmelite sisters, who are of course the owners of the studios. The ladies are of course very happy with this beautiful order, which will give work to our studio for many months. As far as prices and work are concerned, we will do our very best to satisfy Reverend Sorin.
By 1888, all of the windows had been shipped from France and installed in the church. Over the past century, their rich and full colors have created a warm and inspirational environment.
It is an environment for prayer. It is an environment for those people to come and in community to worship, to pray, to enrich their lives with liturgy.
We thought we should preserve the windows because our founder put them in, because Sacred Heart Church would never look the same without them, because we were all so used to praying surrounded by these exact windows.
Successful restoration of anything that comes to us from the past depends upon, first of all, the sensitivity of the person who's doing the restoration.
Sensitivity, as well as quality, is a hallmark of Conrad Schmidt Studios. As in any restoration project, there would be no one single way to restore the Notre Dame windows. Decades of restoration experience from Conrad Schmidt and the project architect would eventually determine the right solution for this project.
The decision was not to go for the low bid, but to go for the bid which in the judgment of the architects would provide the most faithful and expert job.
We were looking for a studio that was large enough, that had the manpower to handle a multi-year project. We were looking for a studio that had a track record of performance commensurate with the task at hand. And we were looking for people that were really and truly open to the notion of working with other people, so that this is a team effort.
Restoration efforts today are the result of skill, sound judgment, and experience. The most important being experience.
The windows are of a good quality, and I admire that they state it is their wish to have them replaced exactly as they are.